This is Trust the Profits 10-minute rundown. Here's your hosts, The Formula, El Hombre, and Vinny Blonde.
Hey everyone, welcome to Trust the Profits 10-minute rundown. We are coming here 3/15, March 15th on a Monday. I'm joined by El Hombre over on one side, Vinny Blonde on another. Guys, welcome. Good to see you. El Hombre, what's up?
Hey man, good. How are you doing?
I am doing well. Vinny Blonde, how's it going? Long time no see.
Good. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Our pleasure as always. So let's start by talking about what we just saw at the Rebel. So last week I made a prediction that we were going to see some letdowns from the top three, and I predicted one of the three would prevail, and I predicted the wrong one. I said Keep Me in Mind would actually bump his way up. I was negging on Caddo River and Concert Tour. I was only right on one of those. Concert Tour ended up pushing past the pack, leading the way to victory. Vinny, what do you think about Concert Tour? And did we see the eventual Kentucky Derby winner in that race?
I think so. He was better than I thought he was going to be, and I had him as my top pick. So I thought he was that good. Yeah, I mean that was just an the race was over after the first.
It was a monster.
Quarter mile when he went out to the lead. Caddo River tried to go with him, and then he just turned him away. He turned him away twice in the first half mile, and it was like you knew right there, like the race was gonna end like that.
Yeah, and on the final stretch, Caddo River knocked everyone else out who could have competed with Concert Tour anyway. So
yeah.
So El Hombre, what do you think? Did we see the Kentucky Derby winner?
No, but what I saw was Concert Tour add himself to the top three contenders that we've been talking about all year and solidify what I'm going to call a Final Four contenders.
Mm-hmm.
I think he joined the other three, being Life is Good, Essential Quality, and Greatest Honor, as the four who I think still at this point have a legit shot to win it all. And by all, I mean not just the Kentucky Derby, but beyond that.
You're talking about rankings. Let's see the rankings if you can pull those up real quick, because we have today the rankings from the Formula, El Hombre, and Vinny Blonde. There we go. So you can see who each one of us has in our top 25 Kentucky Derby contenders. And yes, spoiler alert, I still have Olympiad and Dr. Shivel on the list, even though they haven't run since 2019 maybe, but I still have them there. I cannot kick them off. The last time Olympiad ran, I think he beat Greatest Honor and Caddo River. So if he ever awakens from the dead, I have a feeling he's going to be strong.
He was working in the beginning of the year, and Mott said Mott put him back on the shelf. Said I think he got a small injury or he just wasn't ready. I would expect him back in the summer, but yeah, I'm in a fantasy league where you have to take 5 3-year-olds, and I drafted Olympiad thinking the same thing. He beat Caddo River. He beat Greatest Honor. Like he came at that race looks very strong. So he's one to keep an eye on definitely for later down the road. But at this point, I don't think he's making the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah. I had a feeling at this point he wouldn't make it either, but I couldn't just take him off my list because the talent is there, right? And just there was something in me, even if he's at the bottom, couldn't brush him off. But El Hombre, what do you see on this list? What do you got for us?
Well, the thing I see is, again, with what I called the Final Four, all three of us agree that the Final Four is the same Final Four. Maybe you guys don't feel as strongly as I do, but I feel like if you were to bet, if you're a gun to your head, had to bet $1,000 to win on somebody to win, almost anybody's going to have somebody in those Final Four, the top four on our list, and you can see they're shaking up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Concert Tour was wicked strong looking to me. The only thing I would say against that is the three above him were equally impressive. Anybody below there, Mandaloon he showed a chink in the armor. We haven't seen enough from Prevalence. Helium, Wayburn beat weaker fields. Yeah. Although winners, strong horses in their own right. I think it's down to the Final Four right up top, and we all have the same Final Four. That's what I see on these lists.
Yeah. And just as a plug for Trust the Profits, we did have Concert Tour as our top horse and Big Lake as our show horse, which happened there. Unfortunately, we had Cotto River as our number 2, and Hoosier. Hombres. Hoosier.
Come on, you don't know who?
I don't know acapella pop groups from 2015. I'm sorry. I didn't think that's what this show is all about.
That was a top,
by the way,
probably a number 1 Billboard hit. But go ahead.
Yeah. Speaking of the show, let me just remind all of you people out there should be a subscribe button somewhere around here. Please subscribe to our channel. Trust the Profits. You won't regret it. You're already watching it if you got this far in. So please subscribe now.
Thanks for the save. Our producer Mark is gonna have a shit fit if we don't do that. An S fit. Sorry.
Spoiler alert on the swearing.
Yeah.
All right. You've got a couple things on here that are marked in yellow. We've got a big race coming up that has 4 horses that are in most of our top 25s here in different rankings. The Louisiana Derby is this weekend. Vinny, what do you see in the Louisiana Derby? Is this Mandaloons to win? Do you see Proxy? You've got Proxy very high. I understand that. Do you have him beating Mandaloon this weekend?
I mean, I don't know if he's going to turn the tables on him, but I mean, I think those two are a little bit better than everybody else in this field.
Yeah.
Proxy to me is just one of those horses that I think is just going to continuously improve in small increments. I don't know if he's going to be good enough by the Derby, but they're throwing blinkers on him for this. So maybe he can turn the tables, but I would be shocked if those two aren't 2 of the top 3 in this race.
Yeah.
I see it very similar to the Risen Star. I think that the top 4 from the Risen Star are probably going to be the top 4 here.
Yeah.
So,
El Hombre, what do you see coming up here? Do you think these horses are tired of running up against each other? Got Mandaloon, Midnight Bourbon, Proxy. Was this the 3rd time that they've raced each other? 2nd time?
2nd or 3rd time in many cases.
At least for Mandaloon and Midnight Bourbon. I think Proxy was also in that race. I think he's come in 2nd in both those previous races.
Yeah.
But Mandaloon and Midnight Bourbon were 1-1 or 1-3.
Yeah, I think Mandaloon's obviously going to be the choice, the public choice, morning line choice. Hot Rod Charlie, I see some discrepancies between our lists. I think he's stronger than a lot of people have given him credit for. He was in, I think he finished 3rd last out. I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah.
Hot Rod Charlie was 3rd in the Bobby Lewis. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Hot Rod Charlie, Proxy, and Midnight Bourbon. I wouldn't be shocked if any of them win this race. I think this is like probably the most balanced of the this late in the season Derby preps that we're going to see. I don't think anybody's going to sit here and feel like they're going to, any of these horses is going to be dominant like we've seen recently with Life is Good,
Right.
I don't think there's a dominant horse in this group. Vinny, do you think anybody stands out that can just walk away and make everybody else look stupid in this group?
I don't think so, but I think the top 2 have a chance to be a few lengths in front of the 3rd place horse again. I really think those 2 are the best 2. And as far as Hot Rod Charlie, I have him 20th, but it's really just because he already has points.
Yeah.
I think he needs to show that he is not just strictly pace dependent.
Yeah.
His Breeders' Cup, that was a fast pace, and he closed into it and ran a very good 2nd. And then he backed it up with that 3rd in the Robert B. Lewis, but that was also a fast pace set by Medina Spirit, who ended up holding on. So I don't think the pace. I don't know if he's really going to get that type of pace here. So I thought it was strange that they shipped him here, but I mean, if he gets the right pace, certainly. But I think that's a lot to, especially at 3-1 morning line. A dead closer like that at 3-1 morning line. I would take Midnight Bourbon 10 out of 10 times at 5-1 over taking Hot Rod Charlie at 3-1, which that might come back and bite me. But that would be my take right now.
I agree. I'm not surprised, or I am surprised by Hot Rod Charlie being 3-1 morning line.
Yeah,
that's a big reach. Proxy, I find in the middle, I agree. Mandaloon's the one.
Yeah.
And the next second, third, and fourth choices here are pretty close to me. But I would not put Hot Rod Charlie as a second choice. I can see the argument, but...
Yeah, and we haven't run the formula over this yet, but I'll give you my opinion. I like Mandaloon at the top. I think he's just going to keep winning, at least with this pack. I think he's proven to be the more dominant of the horses, even though Midnight Bourbon does have that one victory over him at Lecomte. For my number 2, I'm going to stick with Proxy, even though I've got him above Midnight Bourbon, or I've got him just below Midnight Bourbon. I think if I were to look at that chart again, I'd probably flip him. And if I'm going to pick a long shot here, I'm going to go with Run Classic. Just broke his maiden about a month ago at the fairgrounds, 8.5 furlongs with a strong closeout. So I feel like a 12-1 morning line, Run Classic is probably a nice little long here. What kind of longs do you guys like in this race?
Go ahead, Vinny.
Or are there any that you like, or do you think it's just like the top 3 or top 4 are going to chalk it out?
I think Bezos can take another step forward.
Bezos, yeah.
He ran 4th in the Risen Star. He didn't run that bad. He made a nice move around the turn. I mean, he wasn't as good as the top few, but second time could improve. Second time around, 2 turns. 15 to 1. I mean, probably for underneath. I mean, I'd be shocked if he get upset this field, but it won't be shocked if he runs 3rd or 4th here.
And
what do you got, El Hombre?
He'll likely go off longer than 15 to 1 also. I don't have a long shot pick here. I think it's going to be pretty chalky. But what I do have is an irrelevant metric for this race.
Please do. Drop it down.
A relevant metric is the 7, Midnight Bourbon. This goes out. I just want to take a second because we all know this guy. Shout out to all the bourbon snobs in the world, okay? These are the guys who masquerade as people trying to they try to class up the joint wherever they're at. Maybe it's a horse race, maybe it's a bar, restaurant, wherever they're at.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, the shit all tastes like kerosene. I mean, it's terrible. It tastes like jet fuel. You choke it down and oh wow, that's so smooth. No, it isn't smooth. Nobody likes it. It tastes like fucking trash, all right? And by the way, it's everybody.
Yeah, keep going.
I'm gonna drag it out. So you drink the stuff as to justify that you're an alcoholic, okay? But you're gonna justify this tasting and like this level of class element that makes it okay for you to drink it. Just fucking drink it, dude. Is anybody judging them? The guy's gonna have a bourbon, scotch, whatever they're gonna do. But let's not pretend that you're at some level of expertise because you can sniff a certain scent in it. Anyway, you people look like Vince Vaughn from Swingers, if you're familiar with that work. Remember that whole scene?
Yeah, we're familiar.
Mark's going to take care of that for us with an edit here.
Bring a single malted Glengarry for me and one for my boy Mikey here. And if you tell the bartender to go easy on the water, then this 50-cent piece has your name written all over it. Okay? I want you to run along because I'll be timing you. I'm going to keep time. 1, 2,
you know what I'm saying.
By all means.
Oh, man.
On behalf of Trust the Profits, I'd like to apologize to all of our audience in Kentucky and by proximity also in Tennessee for the comments coming from El Hombre. They don't represent all of Trust the Profits.
Just me. I'll take it. F yourself if you don't like me.
All right.
That's down for you.
That's
right,
great. I think we found our ending point. Well done. Well done. Thank you guys for joining me.
No killers, though. All right, go ahead.
Thank you guys for joining me on our 10-minute rundown. I do think we went a little bit over. Yeah, we went a little bit over. That's fine. Looking forward to the Louisiana Derby, and have a good one. And don't forget to hit subscribe. It's somewhere around here, I'm thinking.